Let's get corrupted. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Joe with Meteoric Serpents coming back at you for another episode of the Colubrid Corruption Podcast. Guys, great to be back. Happy Sunday. It's been a good week over here. I went to White Plains today, got to check that out. Made me realize I need to kind of get on my stuff and get the New York paperwork I have to get and go start vending, because I'm definitely missing out. That show had a lot of traffic through today, and I was like, man, I need to just get this done and go do it. But that's besides the point. What's up, guys? If it's your first time listening to Colubrid Corruption, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button here on the channel. Check us out. We do a podcast every week. And I want to do more YouTube videos. I promise they're going to happen this year, especially with the breeding season I'm expecting to have. I really hope I have some good content to put out to you guys. So hit subscribe. And if you don't want to listen to this on YouTube, you don't have to. You could go check us out on all the major audio podcasting platforms like Apple, Spotify, Google, YouTube Music, a couple others. And yeah, give us a 5-star rating, leave a little review there, share it with a friend. That always helps out the algorithm and all that good stuff. So yeah, thank you to all the returning listeners. As always, you guys are the best. Tonight we have on Chaz from More Than Morelia once again. He's been on the show a few times. This is his second solo episode, though, so I'm excited to talk to him. But we're going to get the normal stuff out of the way first. Let's see. I'm drawing a complete blank, so that's always awesome. Make sure you go follow me on social media, at Meteoric Serpents, pretty much everywhere. Instagram and Facebook are the best two places to stay up to date with what's going on. Instagram, for sure. I'm on there way more. You could always send me a message on there, and I will get back to you. Guys, if you're looking to support a good cause, you should definitely check out the CCR Conservation Fund on Colubrid and colubroidradio.com. Dr. Loafman and his students are doing great work when it comes to colubrid conservation. All the proceeds from the Colubrid Fest auction went to this, and you should definitely donate to it if you have the funds. So definitely go check that out, the CCR Conservation Fund. And speaking of the fund and the auction where we raise everything, I forgot to do this last week, so I apologize. Colubrid Fest 2026, September 25th through 27th, Friday to Sunday. It is in Evansville, Indiana this year, so make sure you guys know that. Make sure you guys come. I expect to see more and more people there year after year. So I really hope I get to see all of yous, and I'll be looking forward to it. I will be there. I will be vending. So yes, I am excited for year 3. Goal is to always be going. And also, guys, feel free to check out in the first link in the description, the Meteoric Serpents Patreon. That takes you to, so a lot of cool perks, Discord group chat with a lot of cool people who are all about colubrids. It's another way for you to support the show as well. I've also been implementing a lot more exclusive content behind the scenes, giving the people a little bit more, because I always want to give more for the people that are supporting me big time. So I appreciate you all. I know some of you are in the chat tonight. Also, you have a few days left. I did post on Instagram that I'm giving away a cockseye as part of my Patreon give back. So I'm excited to do that. If you want to be part of that giveaway, you have 3.5 days left to join the Patreon. You must be a member by January 15th. So go in there and join. I heard there's a little New Year's discount on Patreon as well. So go check that out for sure. Quick what's up to everyone in the chat. Got Derek Stack. What's up, man? Good to see you here. Got Mason, Patreon supporter. I appreciate you, Mason. Adam from Ivory Colubrid Co., another one of the Patreon members. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. We got Keller, as always, in the building. Got Chris from Copperhead Reptilia. What's up, Chris? I appreciate the book. I got it. It's great. I won Chris's giveaway. He was giving away the oh man, I'm gonna butcher the title. I'm not even gonna bother butchering the title. I put it in my makeshift bookshelf, but I'm excited to get to it when I do. Snakes and Reptiles of U.S. and Canada, I believe. Sorry if I'm saying the wrong book. What's up, Amanda? Another Patreon member here. I appreciate you. Jack's Wild World, thanks for tuning in. And thank you for this, Amanda. I appreciate it. I try my best. I made a promise 2026 I was going to be doing a lot more for the Patreon, and I am holding to that promise so far, even though it's only been 11 days. But I plan on continuing that all year, I promise. So go check it out. I promise you it will be worth it. Absolutely. But without further ado, I think it's time to get into it tonight. So let's bring on our esteemed guest, Mr. Chaz of More Than Morelia. What's up, Chaz? How are you?
What's up, man? How are you?
Pretty good. It's good to have you back. And I apologize to everyone also. I didn't say this. A couple episodes had to get switched around. Chaz was supposed to come on later in the month. MJ was supposed to come on this weekend. Because of the Reptile Super Show, we had to switch that up. So it's all good. But thank you, Chaz, for making the time kind of last minute. I wanted to have you back anyway because there was definitely a lot to talk about since your last solo episode, for sure.
Yeah, happy to jump on.
Yeah. So we don't need to do the whole intro spiel. We've already done that. So we're going to skip past that, but and really just talk about this this past breeding season for you, because you really hatched some cool things. And I specifically made a mention in the title of Jansenii and bird eaters. Two species. I know you had your struggles with the bird eaters in the past, and you finally got them to go, which is really awesome because they're really cool snakes. And we talked about this the other day. They're definitely underrated. And Jansenii, absolutely, because you're like one of two people currently producing them in the U.S. So it's very awesome to see. But yeah, I mean, like, how was it for you? Like, looking back at 2025, I mean, how do you feel about the entirety of the season?
A lot took place, and a lot just like right off the bat, like social media makes everything like look so nice and pretty. But man, there was a lot of ups and downs, especially with like you mentioned with those bird snakes. Just heartbreaking, just being like so close.
Yeah.
So many times. And for those of you that don't know, this particular pair has been cohabbed I think like right around like 4 years now, maybe 3 years. It was almost 2 in my possession. So just call it 3. And the female cycled her first clutch, infertile. And then I got a follow-up clutch, and those eggs seemed like they were going to go the distance. And I got like 5-inch long dead snakes that had like heads and some eyeballs developed.
The little pink blob.
Yeah, just like you could tell it was almost there. And I thought like, man, maybe it was like a parthenogenic clutch that just like didn't go. And then I thought like, man, maybe I incubated them too low. Like we had talked about that in one of my previous episodes. And then at the beginning of 2025, that same female was laying her first clutch, and I go in and check on her, and she's got like 9 eggs out. And mind you, the pair is cohabbed, and never had an issue before. And he was on the other side of the cage, curled up in his hide box, and me going in the room must have woken him up enough to get him cruising around the cage, and he jumped right inside that lay box and ate every single egg out of that clutch.
Wow.
Yeah. Besides, I think I got like 4 slugs at the end of that clutch. And then to the point, like he was trying to eat them as they were coming out of her vent, and ended up lacerating her pretty good on her top side, kind of right in line with her vent. And then finally her double clutch in 2025. I sent that male to a different home, and she laid her double clutch in peace, and got 11 babies from it.
Awesome.
So it's like I could have given up or been like, oh man, the pair's not compatible. And like in the end, I did get rid of the male. But like if he hadn't eaten those eggs, he still would have been here.
Yeah.
But then he was like, not to say he like had it out for her, but was like just like hunting her down like really aggressively, like would try to breed her, and was like, he was also much bigger,
Okay.
like almost 2 times the thickness. Like he was a unit. Yeah, I'm like just pinning her really hard, and I'm like, all right, this isn't gonna work out for you, dude. He just got too big. Like he was, I don't know, 6'8", something like that. Like he was a big boy, like the size of a toilet paper tube,
big snake,
the size of a python.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking for another adult male for this coming year.
Nice.
Hopefully one that's nicer.
Yeah. I just actually had to double check. Besides the roundtable episodes, your solo episode was the end of February, and we pre-recorded that. So I don't know when we recorded it. So it's been almost a year actually since we did a full solo episode, which is always good. I thought it was shorter than a year. But yeah, no, I mean, hey, at least you got some babies at the very least. It's cool that you did. So 11 hatchlings.
Yep.
How many of those are you keeping? Because I'm assuming you got to be holding on to something.
A trio. Yeah, I'm going to keep a trio. I ended up taking in an unrelated yearling pair of bird snakes just a couple months ago, maybe 2 months ago or so, maybe less than that. So I've got 2.4 now for the whole group.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I don't, just off the top of my head, I'm not remembering what your adults looked like. Is there any, well, between the ones you got and the babies you're keeping, any prospect of anything wild in terms of like colors and whatnot?
I definitely think I've got the 3 babies that I've kept, I think are definitely going to trend towards that red and orange look. They've already got like a significant amount of that color compared to some of their siblings. And even just they've had one growth shed besides their, out of the egg shed. And that orange only grew. So it was like 3 pretty clear holdbacks that ended up. I knew I was going to keep a male, so I kept the nicest male. And then those 2 females. I actually was just going to keep a pair, and then I was looking at them. This was just like last week, and I was like, man, this female's too nice not to keep. She was for sale, but nobody grabbed her. All right. Crack she goes.
Yeah. I remember seeing you like post them eating very, very shortly after hatching. Were you tongue feeding them straight away, or were you doing the old like side of the neck trick with the tease feeding?
Yeah, like they all ate off tongs, whether that was like dangling it in front of them and they took it, or if it was like a true tease feed, like touching on the back of the neck. But I didn't hold any of them. A couple of them took like 3 meals and then got like a little stagnant, and I held them in my hand and did the tease feeding that way, and they ate. But pretty much every one of them has just been slamming food.
Gotcha. Okay. And what went into the actual breeding with the adults in terms of cycling and pairing them and whatnot, like what did you do leading up to that? Because obviously they're not like, they're tropical animals. You're not doing a brumation cycle on them, but
Right.
so what's that like?
I think it, like, for me, it's just like that, providing that boom and bust season, like very much like I do uh, for the Jansenii. I think like that's probably how a majority of this stuff lives and breeds. You got like big rains, and then you've got lots of food, and
Yeah.
you've got lots of food. That's the time to breed, and that stuff generally happens. Sometimes it, like, say South America or Asia, happens. You have like these long wet periods, which is where you get like these uh, animals that are double clutching, sometimes triple clutching. They have these long seasons of prosperity. But even though like those places are always tropical and still always rainy, if they're it's the amount of food and the amount of rain that really kicks them on. Like if it's normally, I don't know, these are just random numbers. If it's normally an inch of rain a day, when that 3 inches of rain kicks in constantly, they're like, oh man, this is when this takes place.
What are you doing? Just like spraying / misting the shit out of them?
Yeah, just like a 2-gallon pump sprayer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'll spray them directly, spray the whole cage down, and I like to make sure it's completely dried out before I spray them again. So people are always like, what's your setup? What exactly do you do? And it's like, you really have to know your room and the goal you're trying to accomplish, and then replicate it under your own parameters. So it's like, you try to follow exactly what I do. Like your room probably works way different than mine does, depending on how like your AC system is set up. Like depending on, like, I got a heat pump running right now in my house, so I can literally soak these cages down as much as I want. And like 6 hours later, they are dry. And like, oh, the room is 40% humidity. So it's like, that's my season right now. I'm feeding and spraying snakes like hell, because
honestly, I need to get myself one of those pump sprayers because I'm fighting humidity here. Bad.
Yeah. There's like a specific one that a bunch of them like just don't last. I've been through like so many of these things, and it's like $25. You don't want to spend like 8 times a year if you don't have to. So I'll send you a link to the one that.
Yes, please do.
You should be able to order it. Like
okay.
every like the rubber gaskets on them from tightening the lids, they always stretch and then they don't hold air. So it's like the whole rest of the bottle works fine. But I wish I could come up with like a like I have a bathroom right outside this room. I wish I could just like run a hose off the bathtub, do like a mist nozzle or something like on a hose. But I feel like it'd be like more like work than it's worth. Like the pump sprayer really does do the job pretty well.
That's like the Python for the aquariums. They need to make that for reptile keepers and misting.
Yeah. Right. I did just see, this is like totally off topic, but I did just see it. There's this company, I think they were out of Nevada, and they install these like home house humidity systems. So like each room has like these nozzles on the roof, and it puts reverse osmosis water through them.
Interesting.
So like you don't get like dry skin, and like I'm like, man, I wonder if I could get these boys to help build out a reptile facility. That would be sweet, dude.
That would be cool.
And have definitely it sprayed out of the ceiling. Yeah. They almost look like just like little Miss King nozzles.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it is.
Then it just rains in the building.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, but that's awesome, man. I mean, we talked about it over DMs the other day, but the bird eaters, one, are just, in my opinion, have boomed in popularity over the last couple of years. And I think they're going to be even more so. They're limited to a degree because of their size and arboreal nature, but I think they're still like one of those snakes that people will be really interested in the way people are interested, in some of the other oddball stuff. I don't even want to
Sure.
call them oddballs, but yeah.
I mean, I think it's a snake. Like if you can keep a eastern rat snake, like it's not a hard snake to keep. Like
Yep.
the barrier to entry, for a lot of this stuff, if you're given the correct information, is very low. Like it is not hard to learn how to keep a lot of this stuff if you get a healthy animal, if you get good information, and even if you just followed like the little cookie cutter recipe of the right information, like you'd probably be fine. Like I think this is such a great snake for somebody that's like, I want something like really funky, but like
Yeah.
don't want to have to work for it that much. And it's like, this is such a great snake.
Right. What are your setups looking like between like your hatchlings and adults?
For babies, I'm using I think they're like the Vision 15 tubs, the long, skinny ones.
Yeah,
Maybe like,
I know it. Yeah, I
yeah.
know them. They're compatible with V18 racks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually, it's the Freedom Breeder
5
model of that.
FB5s.
FB5 because they make the FB5 with no cup holder, and cleaning FB5s with the cup holder is a
Is so
nightmare.
annoying.
Bless
Yeah.
anybody who wants to do that and will try to convince me that a removable water dish is more work. Don't care. When you have to clean that tub, it's more work.
It's annoying. I
Yeah,
have them with the cup holder, so I know.
yeah, and I feel like it's probably thin enough for like a little rhino, like down near the bottom, to like probably get a good pinch. Maybe I haven't seen them in a while, but I feel like it's pretty tight
It is.
down there, and I'm like tired of using like a little pick and stuff. I've dealt with them before, and anyways, yeah, I do those for the bird eaters, and those work great. I just have the single adult female bird eater at the moment, as far as an adult. And she's in a 423. I did downgrade her after I got rid of the male. The pair was in a 623, and I put a pair of Jansenii in the 623 and stuck her in the 423.
Gotcha.
She's also,
like I was gonna say, like, what do you think is like the sufficient size for? I assume you think that's sufficient for an adult.
I think 424 is a really good size. Like if you can go with a 6-foot cage, it's a lot more fun to decorate a 6-foot cage than it is
Right.
4-foot cage, especially if you want to do like big pieces of wood and live plants. And it's like, that's why I like the 623 so much for the Jansenii, because it's like you could put like big totes in, you could put like big water dishes. You don't have to like worry about like low ceiling height or anything like that. The 424 is a little bit harder to outfit the cage if you don't have access to like some big pieces of wood or some like big cork rounds. It's just a harder cage to work with.
Gotcha.
Like 4 feet is pretty high. Like it's nice if you do like a shelf and can kind of like build some wooden pieces higher up in the cage, like off that shelf. If you put it like halfway through or something. Yeah, you could also set it up like it was a 3-foot tall cage and just have your lights higher up, I guess, or some like plants sticking up higher up. But I still like that 623.
Okay.
I think if you have the space, that's the move.
Gotcha. Are you doing any supplemental heat with them, or just like straight LED lights?
I'm trying to get them to like 85 degrees. Okay. So I think that particular cage, it's the only cage that I actually built, and it has like 2 big screen vents on the side, kind of like right where the heat lamp is. So it like lets a lot of air exchange in, and I think maybe I've got like a 50-watt bulb.
Okay.
In there. Yeah, nothing crazy. As long as they can get to like 85, The room, like even now during winter, I've got a space heater in there and it'll hit like 81.
Good night. It's okay, no worries.
Yeah, even right now the room will hit like 81 degrees. And like I know people that are keeping them at 81 degrees, just like running them, like straight room temp essentially,
Right.
and they do fine.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah.
I think too much heat is probably far more detrimental than like, man, am I going to keep them at 80 degrees or am I going to keep them up towards 90? I would definitely just keep them at 80 straight.
No, I definitely hear that. 90 sounds way too hot,
Yeah.
honestly, for most colubrids. But yeah. Cool. All right. So yeah, on the hunt for male bird eater. If anyone has an adult male,
Yeah.
Chaz is looking for one.
Yeah. Preferably something with some reds and some oranges. That would be nice. Or if somebody wants to send something this way, that could also work too. If I don't find something, preferably I would find something and selfishly keep all the babies for myself.
Yeah.
But worst comes to worst, I would definitely do a loan.
Okay. Nice. All right. So with that said, let's get into the Jansenii a bit, man.
Yeah.
Unless you have anything else you want to hit on bird eaters for now.
Nah, all good there.
Okay. So Jansenii, dude. One clutch has hatched. You've been raising those guys for a bit.
Yep.
And you have 3 more incubating.
Yeah. Crazy.
Okay. So let's talk. Okay, so the last, because it's funny because I just told you beforehand I was listening to the Rhino Rat Snake Roundtable episode because I was like, am I doing the stuff right with the brumation and the stuff we kind of talked about? I think I'm hitting the parameters I want to hit, but at that time you were at day 120 or so.
It was absurd. Yeah.
You were at day 120 ish.
Yeah.
When we did that episode, and they hatched at what day?
149, the first one, and 152 for the last one. It's gotta be the it's gotta be the longest incubation of any, like there's nothing else. There's no other colubrid. There's nothing else that even lays eggs that is a snake.
Moellendorf's can get up there, right? But not quite as long.
Man, maybe you could match them if you really pushed both the eggs to like their lowest limit. Maybe you could match them, but like a clutch of Jansenii also went for 182 days.
It's crazy.
Like that's nuts.
Yeah.
There's an account. I don't know who did it. I'm sure I can try to figure it out. There's an account of like a 92-day incubation, and I'm very curious of what that temperature was.
What did you incubate at?
78.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, ever since I've talked about it a bit, but since I made the decision to go kind of full colubrid, I've now turned my incubator down to like 77.5, and I think that's how I'm gonna incubate pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit low for North American rat snakes. Mid to, I don't even want to call it high end for Asian rat snakes. I think it's a more than fine range for them, but I think I'm good there.
Mm-hmm. They'll go for a while, but like my stuff is going for a while, and there is like literally no yolk left. Like they crawl out of the egg and they suck the little piece up. Like there's nothing left. They have got every bit, and I'm having no feeding issues, which like I need to find some wood to knock on, but like all this stuff is eating. So it's
Right.
like, man, that's good enough for me. I don't need a reason. Those they don't even have to be correlated as long as they
Dude, let alone eating. Your Jansenii are growing like crazy. They
oh
look
yeah, they're
huge
nuts.
already.
They're nuts.
Hold on, I gotta pull up a recent picture. Oh, you might keep putting them on your story.
Let me send it to you real quick.
Here's one. Oh no, this is from October. But even still, I mean, this snake looks huge. I'm pulling up this reel, which again you posted in October. This is yours, right? One you produced or no?
No, that's one of
Oh,
Daniel's babies. So
okay, never mind.
that one was born in like January last year, I think. January
Okay,
2025. But look at this.
disregard that. Give me 1 second.
I did that I think I did just post the most recent reel that I posted, I think, is of
I did. Maybe I missed it.
right before our collaboration
Oh, oops.
thing.
Yep, that's my bad. I didn't look closely enough. Okay, maybe that's what I saw, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
And
at how big it is.
this one has had the most meals. The most consistent is eating the biggest mice. This thing is like just doing the
I mean,
best.
what is that thing eating already? It's like hoppers, right?
Yeah, hoppers.
Yeah. Okay.
It would probably jam a small mouse down there, but
I'm sure it would.
I'm trying to figure out where they're gonna go because I have these 5, and then I have the 2 from Daniel that are even bigger than this, and then I have some oxys that are all like getting ready to come out of tubs, and these cages behind me, these bottom ones are eventually moving, and this is going to be 12 of these 2-foot cubes.
Okay.
So I've got the plan, but I'm like, man, I'm not trying to give this thing small mice because I still need to buy these cages and get them set up. I'm trying to slow those snakes down because they're growing like crazy.
Yeah.
But if you don't feed them, they're like crazy full of energy and like all over those tubs, and it's like gotta feed them so like chill out for a couple days. It's a battle.
Did they start eating immediately? Like when you tried?
No, one of them ate a like a fuzzy mouse live, like right off the bat, and then like didn't eat for like quite some time, and it only like very recently has started getting its act together. And then a couple of the others I had to do. I did like a whole bunch of different things, to be honest. I did all the things, live, frozen. You can't tease feed them because they're like the most they're just like the craziest snakes ever when you spook them. Like
Okay.
they're flying all over the place. I would pull one out, but they're little spitfires, man. They're like really something else. They're like the type of snake that when you go to try to put it back in the tub, like it gets halfway in and immediately ejecting itself out of the tub. Like, and they'll do that like 5 times. So it's like
that's what my bird eaters do to me. But
crazy, and it's like, how do you work with that? They're too high strung with the puffing and everything to do a hold in the hand, like, and they bite, they have sharp teeth, like, yeah, I've got to figure out what I'm going to do for this next clutch. I think having more live mice on hand will be nice, and I do have a nice mouse rack lined up that I'm going to be picking up pretty soon from a friend of mine.
Okay.
And I think I'm just going to try to, the reason I don't breed them on my own right now is because I just don't have a good place. And I think this spring I'm going to put the rack on the back porch and see how it goes. And it's either
Okay.
going to work or all sorts of critters are going to get into it. But we'll see. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to have to do like some type of like laboratory box, like inside to just like produce the bare minimum now to get by, because I just don't have a good option for it. If I had a garage or something, that would be great, but I don't.
Gotcha.
So I think like the live mice would have been good if I had them more consistently. But yeah, I did like chick scent, quail scent. I still have that one that ate the first time live and then went on the hiatus. It's taking silver side scented fuzzies right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, I can't ever imagine you'd smell a fish ever. But it's like that's not actually what triggers them. It's got to be some weird chemical thing that it's like, oh, this must be food of some type. It's definitely not the smell of the fish. Like, I can't imagine like that is actually the catalyst for this thing eating.
Right.
But like, it's just got to be like so pungent, especially like the silver side, because they do stink.
Yeah.
And I bought the silver sides to feed my garter snakes, and they won't touch them.
Really?
I think they're too smelly for the Lake Paulas, and they don't want anything to do with them. A couple people have suggested that I do the button quail, and I guess I could. I'm not opposed to it. I just haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, that sounds like it could maybe work.
Yeah, I even thought like, man, what about just doing a couple button quail? Because like that's something I have plenty of yard space and everything. Like that's not a issue. I could do some little quail this spring probably pretty easily.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be interesting. I don't know if you do live or frozen budding quail, but if you started breeding them and did them live and they took those right away, I'm sure that would be quite easy.
Yeah, I think they're very heavy bird eaters, but like the chick scent is just like not really doing it for them. Like maybe every once in a while, and that's why it's like so frustrating, because it's like one will take the chick scent and then it won't eat for 3 weeks. And I'm like,
well, the more
strategies, you know.
The more you guys breed captive bred animals that have good feeding behaviors, the more that's gonna kind of break out in future captive generations.
I think so.
Sorry, go ahead.
And there's always just like a little thing that majorly boosts your success, and it's like I need to figure out like what the tick is for this species, that it's like this adjustment makes the feeding 40% better. Like, I don't know, whatever this little tick is, or whatever the scenting is that I'm looking for. I just know there's something out there, or a enclosure setup style that like will totally turn this snake on, and they'll eat.
Right.
Like, for sure. I just need to figure out what it is, like how to perfect starting and raising them.
Yeah. I mean, if we're thinking about it, I could only like imagine like they might just be going after lizards when they're fresh hatchlings in the wild, and maybe like that's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I was supposed to have MJ on tonight. Like that's like MJ literally bred crested geckos for bad feeding baby chondros, and almost makes me think like I wonder, like, what if Jansenii go after like a little gecko or some shit?
I did in fact feed a baby a little crusty gecko.
You did.
Yeah, it was a one-time thing. It never worked again.
Oh, okay.
Literally never worked again. I was
Frozen or live?
No, it was live, and it was
Okay.
to that one that had just eaten the fuzzy, and I was like, man, this thing's gonna roll. And it's like, you can't be. It's not the snake to put hands on and think you're gonna assist feed it. Like, I'm just not into that kind of stuff. Like, they are
neither am I.
extremely high strung. And like, the second you put that snake down after doing that, like, the snake freaking takes off. Like, it's not like you restrained it nicely and like tried to get a little assist feed and like you put the snake down and it sat there. Nah, it's gone. Like, it's in the next bedroom. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
So cool. Now when it comes to the breeding, so obviously you had one pair produce the ones that hatched. Now you have 3 clutches incubating. Are they all from the same pairing?
The second clutch, the one that's due to hatch next, is from the first pair.
Okay.
And then the 2 clutches after that are from an unrelated wild caught pair.
Okay, so totally separate pair, not even the same male.
Not even the same male. No.
Okay, nice. So that's cool. What respective days are the next clutches at?
I think 109 for clutch number 2, and then it would be like 20 days before that for the third clutch.
Yeah.
And then 90 days before that for the last clutch. She ended up dropping that second clutch 92 days after the first, which is like as fast as possibly could have happened.
Yeah.
Like, and I know why it happened, because I gave her a gigantic rat right after she laid that first clutch. I was literally in the room feeding right after she laid that clutch, and she was sitting there with her head out of the hide box. And I'm like, I bet you're hungry. And sure enough, she took that big old rat and cycled again.
Yeah. What's your goal in terms of like your females and how many clutches you want them to give you per year? Because obviously we talked about they can multi-clutch, and by multi I mean more than 2.
Yeah, I think like if I pounded her again right now with food, it'd probably go another 90 days. And surprisingly, she does look fine. But I did take that male, and he's in with a different female, Smitty's female.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't even have a male. Not that she couldn't go, but I have a different female that I'm focusing on right now, and I'd rather focus on that girl that laid those 2 clutches.
No, I hear you.
Now, I have this one that hasn't produced for me, so I might as well focus on her.
Sure. All right. And then, okay, so obviously we're like a bit of a ways off from, you're still like 40 days from clutch 2 hatching, and then like a good bit for the next couple.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, we're at day 109. And I'm rocking the same exact temperature, so it should be, 150 days is pretty much what I'm looking at. I can't, and I'm tracking it with the Govee, and it's spot on. 110 days to now. So yeah, 40 days. So mid-February, I think it was like February 20th.
Yeah, 5 months, man. That's just wild.
Yeah. And I think it is kind of cool because like I set up this first clutch, and it hatched. And obviously I had some like moisture issues, and I had some of those eggs suck up a significant amount of water. So I was able to adjust on clutch number 2, dry it out a little bit, and kind of dial that container in. And it's funny because clutch number 3, in the same exact position in this particular egg box, this same egg, like the top of it is completely moldy. And that happened in the previous clutch, this egg in the same place in the lay box got like this huge lump on it. And I'm just like, that's so strange. And it's like both 5 egg clutches. And I was comparing the pictures and I was like, this is way too, I don't think there's anything to it. It was just interesting to see. So then I dried it out a little bit more, clutch number 4, and those eggs like literally look perfect. Like they're couldn't be better.
Yeah. All right.
Like it's like almost like every month, like for like the past 3 months, I've had like a new chance to like, okay, let me dial this in a little bit more. And I'm going by like a like the same size egg box. So I'm going by like a measurement of perlite on the side, and then by like a by weight in my hand of water.
Okay.
It's like kind of got the feel for it.
Yeah. All right. What do you think that you're doing differently in terms of husbandry that's getting you to this success that maybe other people aren't seeing, or maybe they're just not trying hard enough?
Probably not feeding them heavy enough.
You're not. Oh, other people aren't.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't. The same with oxys. Like those animals eat such big prey. They really do. And even if it's not like super calorie dense, like the bird prey that those animals are sucking down, it's like the pressure inside that animal. It's like all of that has something to do with telling that snake that it's time to start growing those follicles. And those big meals do it. And it doesn't mean they always have to be like super calorie dense, like 5-day-old chicks. Well, they have pretty good size dent in a lot of those snakes. Calorie wise, doesn't really amount to a whole lot, which is why like 5 days later you got to feed them again.
Yeah, I keep talking about it, but like after speaking to Dr. Whitman so extensively, like I'm just feeding the shit out of everything this season.
Yeah,
And
dude.
like not in a bad way, but like
No.
I'm going to feed the shit out of these rat snakes this year.
Yeah.
Like no.
Yeah. You have to feed the follicles. Otherwise, if they start growing and there's not enough food, they just reabsorb and it's total waste. And it can actually be more dangerous to be on this edge of growing and then enlarging and then shrinking down follicles and nothing happening to them.
Yeah.
Like you want to use those.
Yeah.
That's what this animal is made for. And there's like, yeah, and I'm pretty sure it was that Whitman podcast, listening to him talking about the egg binding and the follicles growing so big after so many years of growing and thinking there was going to be a fertilization and it never happened. And like follicles aren't able to shrink back down and you end up with all sorts of complications. It's like these animals are made to reproduce. And I understand the sentiment behind we're not trying to breed the shit out of our animals. And like, but it's like, they're not dogs. Like it's a different concept. Like,
yeah,
this animal's job is to reproduce, and it's to reproduce a lot of offspring, like in quick succession. It's like, if you don't let it do that, there are consequences. And it's like, regardless of, how we feel about the situation, it's like the animal's made to reproduce. And if an animal can reproduce 6 times in a year and you are still feeding it a lot, but only holding it back to 1 clutch, only letting it go that little bit one time, And I think breeding animals are can be some of the leanest and healthiest animals. And it's like, you want an animal that's not overweight, breed it.
Yeah.
It's like, breed it. That's where all that weight goes. Like, there's no fat reserves left on a lot of these snakes after they recover from a successful clutch.
Yeah, now I just like what my debate is like, do I just give oversized meals or do I just do like bi-weekly like good size meals? And by good size I don't mean like small meals. Like I mean like, an adult Texas rat getting like a jumbo mouse or a small rat and then feeding it again the next, like within the same week, like 5 days or so, that's just what I wonder. But with these animals, especially like Jansenii that could really like multi-clutch, and I have the coxeye that could also multi-clutch,
Mm-hmm.
although coxeye are not eating as nearly big at like big meals like that, but still, like the point stands.
Yeah.
So, no, I think I appreciate you saying that because I think that's a game changer.
And if you're not breeding the animal, like that girl that just laid these 2 clutches, I have a goal. Let's say it's 6 months from now that I want to breed her, and I have a particular body condition that I want her to be in, and I all I have to do is simply keep her in that body condition. Well, get her there, and then keep her there over the course of that time. And if that's 2 months from now, and I'm like, you're in prime condition, then she can just exist for 4 months. Like, you can just have 2 chicks once a week, and you'll be perfectly fine. And that's your, bust season right there. And I'm also probably not spraying that animal as much. So I'm pulling back humidity, pulling back food. And then when that time comes to breed that animal, like, those big meals are not going to hurt it at all, especially when the intention is of putting those meals towards egg development. Like, that's the only reason I'm giving it the food.
Right.
It's like, so it can have the calories needed to reproduce.
Gotcha.
So again, yeah, we're not just feeding to feed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, I'm gonna have the biggest Jansenii out there,
Yeah.
so it can bite me from across the room. Like, that's not the goal.
Yeah.
But then, like, I think of like other animals like greater keeled rat snakes, and it's like, man, that thing's got to reproduce like eating bullfrogs. It's got to eat a big old freaking frog to like literally have anything in its stomach, because there's just not much there. So it's like, man, if you're talking about breeding something like that, you better get your frog supply ready, because that snake might eat 2 times a day. Like, that's something people aren't, like, even things like crebos and some of these other like terrestrial, not that the arboreals aren't like this, but like that terrestrial stuff eats a lot, and they eat every single thing that they come across, which is not a whole lot when it's like, a lizard and a frog. So it's like, there does have to be a lot of it.
Yeah, I agree.
I
So
do
now
have another point, and it is,
go.
How is it that we see people that, and I'm not saying that people that primarily keep ball pythons don't have skills in other herpetoculture areas. They do. But why is it that we see people that have things that primarily keep things like ball pythons grab a single species of another animal and like have like pretty good success with it, like pretty quickly? I can think of like multiple times that this has happened, and it's because they're feeding it like a ball python. That's why it's reproducing, because they're feeding it enough. Like, otherwise, if you have like general like rat steak mentality, I mean, we're like thinking mice, and I can tell you, like, Jansenii will eat multiple of the biggest freaking mice that you can give it. And it's like, if that's what you're going off of like feeding this thing like medium mice, and I'm talking about feeding it medium rats, like we're so far off,
What I find so funny about that like crossover, like ball python people trying other species is like,
Hmm.
and I saw someone say this in like a chat somewhere, like I can really keep this at 77 and like feed the shit out of it, 77 degrees and like feed the shit out of it, and they're like worried. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, that's I'll do that all day.
Yeah.
That's what's even better. I don't have to
Hmm.
use all this freaking heat appliances.
Uh-huh. But it's like that's like something that I see because like generally like colubrid feeding, like it is light, and it's like a lot of things you don't have to hit it with like that much food. Like you don't have to like pound your hog nose or like pound your Florida Kings. Like you just give it a moderate amount of food and like that's enough for it. Uh,
Yeah,
but like man, some of these other things, especially these colubrids that are cruising through the trees and like really curious and like don't sit still, like they come across a lot of food opportunities and they take advantage of them.
yeah, absolutely. Um, what are going to be your plans in terms of keeping babies? Like I know you held back this entire first clutch.
Mhm.
Now, the next clutch you have hatching are direct siblings, and then the next two after that are siblings to each other.
Yeah.
So, obviously, I know you want probably unrelated animals just to
Mhm.
keep new, fresh bloodlines going, but like, do you plan on offering to the public? If so, not that you have to give a price on here, but like, what does that look like?
I think I'm gonna end up keeping uh from this unrelated pair, I'll probably end up keeping probably five because I want to keep the darkest animals and I've got to grow them out
Okay.
to do that. Uh, which would still leave me if they all hatch would still leave me with 11 babies, and those will definitely be for sale.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it might be like a July thing, an August thing. But it's like
Yeah.
you never know. Like terrible things happen, so it's like day by day, you'll know they're for sale when you see them posted.
No,
I
absolutely.
just don't want to jinx it.
No, I hear you. Trust me. I get it. All right, that's fine. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of get your mentality on that.
Yeah, I'm
So that's cool.
definitely going to be selling them. I made a post a couple weeks ago that if it's something that you're interested in, uh, let's start talking now.
Okay. Yeah. Don't blame me there because I'm sure those are going to get jumped on pretty quickly.
Yeah, it'll be. I hope so, but it's going to be interesting to see because like some of Daniel's like sat around for a while, like even and that was like even like COVID times. I remember gawking over those things on Morph Market, and people slept
Yeah.
on them, like they really did.
I mean, look, price plays a factor. Obviously, I don't know what he had his posted for. I don't know what you plan on listing yours for, but sometimes on a rare species like that, not everyone's going to be willing to make the jump on like those first some of those only captive bred animals. Some
Yeah,
people will, not everyone will though. Obviously, you're the type of person that would like you got some of Daniel's
yeah,
babies, but not everyone's you. So
yeah. And those, I mean, those, I tell people that message me, like message Daniel, like he's got he's got multiple clutches incubating. He's got stuff. Uh, he's got stuff hatching. So I mean, he's a great person to chat at and try to get in line with.
sorry about that. One of my baby cocks, I don't know what it's doing. It like has its mouth a little bit open, but he's in shed. So I gotta check on that afterwards. But anyway, Yeah, so that's cool. I'm excited to see what comes of that. Um, and yeah, so that'll be fun for sure.
Yeah, I think Daniel has one or two other pairs uh, that would be unrelated to the babies that I got from him, and I either want to buy some from those clutches or hopefully send him some of mine, because that would be,
Yeah,
I mean, that would be ideal, is to send him a couple of my babies for a couple of his.
nice. Yeah, I'm sure that's always good. The collaboration there. I want to see a little more of that in the hobby. I think especially people that like become friends, like collaboration needs to be a thing
Yeah,
a bit more.
I think and okay, like years ago, I used to think, as like a less experienced keeper, like I would message somebody and like, have all these questions and whatnot, and maybe my message wouldn't get answered, or it'd be like weeks later that I got like a half-hearted response. And it's because these people get so many messages a day, and it's like generally about the same thing. And when people have taken time to put out content, like we're doing now, and it's like, well, I've provided the content in like a great
Yeah.
format for you to listen, but you're
I'm
asking
glad I see
you're
you. I'm
asking me the
glad I
same
see you.
question.
Yeah. I'm glad
You
when
know?
I see you always like post like one of our episodes somewhere, like
Yeah,
as an answer to a question. I'm always
yeah,
like, that's so cool that people like get to do that.
yeah, and I tell people, somebody literally just picked up a rhino, first time rhino owner, and they're like, "What do I need to know?" And they were driving back to Virginia with it, and I was like, "Put this on your Bluetooth, because this is all of it." And whenever somebody asks me, even with the Jansenii stuff, like, "Have you listened to this?" No. Okay, go listen to this, and then ask good questions. It's like,
Yeah.
if I didn't answer it, 100, let's talk about it in a message, but like it's probably been answered. And like, so I've been in that same boat of like, oh, this person doesn't want to answer me, or this person doesn't want to provide information, or this person is gatekeeping. And then like, here I am like 5 years later, like there's times like I miss people's message, and it's not because I don't want to answer it. Like it might just be like a super common question, and you just
Right.
might get like the brute response, uh, because it's like it really is a common question that's been covered, a lot of times.
Yeah. Um,
Kind of like a little flip side perspective. It's like, oh, people
100%.
are people. It's not that people don't want to answer you. It's the questions there. Like, use the Facebook groups to to search for information that you're looking for, and search keywords. Like, most of this stuff is out there, and be ready to listen to a 4-hour podcast, if you want your questions answered.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that podcast was like
That
three
was
hours and
crazy.
45 minutes. Yeah. That was a lot.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's there, like all of it. There might be some banter that like doesn't make sense here and there, or like sometimes I think people don't want to listen to new podcasts because there's like almost too much of like a friendly vibe, and they're like, there's almost like an outsider feeling of like, you don't really know what's going on in this like week to week podcast. If it's like, I think it's more that way if it's like a 2-person podcast, and you got like people like bantering back and forth for like an hour before the show
Yeah.
starts, like, and it's like, I get that kind of like turns off people that are just like, I just want the information. It's just like, just scroll through until you hear the show
Yeah.
start.
I try my best to not like I don't think I've ever had that feel on here at the very least. Like
No.
even that the Rhino and the Ganyasoma roundtable, like even though we were all friends prior, like I think we actually kept very much on focus, besides some tangents that were relevant. But
Oh yeah. I would just say, like, if you're looking at Jansenii, like, man, there's a lot of content. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it is. There is good content out there on the topic. At least now there is, and there will
yeah,
continue to be more.
yeah, cool. I was going to ask something else, and now maybe I wasn't. So what is all on the docket for the 2026 breeding season for you? I think you posted the list somewhere,
I
like
did.
on Facebook or whatever. But
I did. Obviously, the Jansenii. That's like, I would say the Jansenii and the rhinos are my two main projects. I have 5 female Jansenii that I can use. I've got the one Neotropical Bird snake, so I'm looking like every day to hopefully find that male, find a male. Some cool stuff with the rhinos. I think I have 4.5 going. And in that includes a wild caught to F1 Vietnamese pair, which I'm super excited about, because those will be like true, put the label on it, true Vietnamese locale rhinos,
nice.
which are hard to come by, especially with the Hainine stuff coming out. Not that I'm like, oh, it matters. I just think it's cool that, like, I have the locale tag on them. And Ryan Martinez bred the wild caughts, and I raised the F1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be kind of cool. Got a pair of Japanese rat snakes, which gave me a 6 slug clutch this year. So I'm going to try those again. I've got a trio of Blue Beauty rats. I think I've probably got that are ready to go like 3.3 red tail green rats of various looks. 3 pairs of Chinese king rats, pair of hognose, Kasachi rat snakes. I know I'm missing some stuff. Oh yeah, the carpet pythons. I have a pair of albino Darwins, pair of Papuans, pair of Brettles.
Am I going? Yeah.
Yeah. Pair of Brettles and a trio of coastals.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a couple Florida Kings. Yeah, I'm sure I'm missing at least one thing.
Everglades rats?
What is it?
Everglades?
Mm-hmm. Everglades. Maybe my Lake Chapala garters. That would be pretty cool. That would be a first time. Some other things that I'm looking for. I need a male Nicaraguan tiger rat snake.
Okay.
Then that could be a go. And I need a male black Jansenii, because as the wild caught things go, Buddy was like hiding for like weeks on end and like came out and was basking in the open. And I was like, oh, he's nice and happy now. He ate, and like the next day he's dead on the bottom of the cage.
Oh,
Buddy, what the fuck?
terrible.
That's how it goes. There's nothing you can do about it except for cry about it and not succeed, or lick your wounds and do it again.
Right.
That's all there is. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
It's
I hear you there.
I have 2 females. They're doing great. Eat every time. Super shy, but it's just how it goes.
Yeah. A couple people had mentioned, a couple people in the chat wanted you to talk about your oxycephalum a little bit, and I also was personally curious about your relationship with Jared on some of his stuff. I know he's kind of been sending you stuff to sell either on his behalf or whatever the arrangement is. I don't really care. But yeah, so talk about the oxycephalum a bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I'm looking at the YouTube.
Are you on a computer?
I'm on my phone right now. I'm on,
Okay.
let's see. I see.
No, I meant on like StreamYard, because you could click on the comments button. It should be in the top right, and that pulls up the chat there.
Oh, no way.
I didn't.
Borneos? No, I don't have any Borneos. Would I like Borneos? Yes, absolutely. You won't catch me paying $2,000 for an oxy.
Yeah.
That's in a different tax bracket than I'm in.
If it's your first time listening, hit subscribe. Thanks for checking us out. A lot of other cool episodes on here. So, yeah.
So as far as the oxys go, I'm still building this breeding group that I'm working on. So this pair that I am thinking just went through pre-lay shed is a Malaysian female that I bred to an Indonesian male who is red that Jared produced. So that's obviously a locality cross pairing, and that's something that I'm going to be working on over the next couple of years, and that's going to be strictly for color, because I think the color potential for oxys is off the charts, especially when you start getting like a red and start mixing silver with it. I think it's going to be very, very pretty down the line. I have, let's see, I kind of have like a uniquely colored Indonesian female that's kind of like red, orangey, but it's like super, super washed out, like almost like the animal is like really, really old. And like you could imagine it having like nicer color when it was younger. It's kind of interesting looking animal. That's an adult female, and she's ready to go. And I'm actually going through this situation right now. A couple months ago, I had bought this nice silver oxy that was like giant. She was like 7 feet, looked incredible, and was on hold for winter shipping. And the Morph Market account is like now inactive. So I'm trying to deal with that to figure out
Oh, shoot.
where my snake is, because it's been like no response for like a while now. Last response actually was supposed to ship on the 6th of December, and now it's like totally quiet. So I thought I was going to have a nice fourth female to go with one of these multiple silver males that I have. But I don't know if that's going to end up going through. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be kind of piecing those together. Like I said, this locality cross pairing, I think is pretty close to producing if I didn't miss it for some reason, miss her window, which I'll just try again in the next coming months.
Yeah.
And then one of these other females, I just recently took out of quarantine, and she hasn't made her way all the way into the main room yet. She's kind of at a middle ground stop in my living room. So yeah, just need to unite some of those animals, and then I'll be looking for some wild caught silvers, and that'll really that's really what I need is like 2 adult females would be great, because I have wild caught silver males waiting for them, 3 of them. Like I'm swimming in males. It's crazy. And it's like, they're really nice and I don't want to get rid of them just because I have a lot of them. But I'm just like, man, I need to get females from them because they're still sitting here.
Yeah, I hear ya.
But I know they'll do good things. So I'm like, man, I can't sell them.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I have one other Indonesian oxy that's green that's still in quarantine, and I want to get her all the way through before I get any more animals in there. Jack, do you want to send me $25,000 for a pair of royal tree snakes, bud?
I can't believe those ones from Cold Blooded Shop sold that quickly. It's wild to me.
People have money, and it's like
they absolutely do. So here's what I'll say: the one tiny thing I know about royal tree snakes, I happen to know there is a ball python breeder out there.
There is, and he actually is not far from me now.
I know. Okay, so you know who it is too.
They contacted me before they even got the snakes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say this person's name, but I really want them to come on the show. The last time I talked to them, they were like, I need them to. They are doing well, but I need like continued success here before I like jinx something. I said, okay, no problem. So he's on my hit list to ask him on.
Yeah,
so.
And you've got good people in your corner from that aspect. So be like, yo, my buddy Chaz told me, which I've already talked to them. We talked about me getting over there once he's all
nice
set up. Yeah,
awesome.
I think they ended up, if I'm not mistaken, it was 6 animals, 3.3. Yes. I think something happened to one. Maybe it didn't get sent and they only got 5 or 1 died. It is undetermined. But I can tell you, it is a very unstable animal. Like, look at anything else that comes out of there and like, would you spend that kind of money on any other animal that came out of that region? Anyone? No. Because it's an outrageous amount of money.
I mean, let me tell you this. There's a species I want that if it, from what I heard, is being charged in Europe, I wouldn't spend that money on wild-caught animals here in the U.S. I can tell you that.
And I can also tell you what this guy bought the group for, exponentially less.
I could imagine.
I mean, exponentially. Like,
and granted, I know this person has money, but I know he wouldn't spend over $100K on.
No, I think they spent $35,000 on the group, and it was 6 animals.
Yeah, I mean, which is still like,
it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
Huge risk.
And okay, you have to reproduce them. Major hurdle. And then you have to find somebody else that's going to fork over the captive bred price for you. And it's like, who? An AZA facility? It's like, those people are a nightmare to work with. And it's like, this animal's going to be, by the time you hatch it and AZA facility gets it, it's going to be 3 years old Like,
Well, I mean, what has to happen with that, right? Because like the way it works, like the captive breeders would have to charge less than the wild caught people, which like they shouldn't, but like at the same time, like if you
yeah,
like, because no one's gonna like, there are very few people who would pay fucking 25 G's for
bro,
it.
and the healthiest snakes die. Like, it's an animal, and it's like there's plenty of people out there that have bought the dream snake, and it's dead the next day. Why? Because it's a living creature. Like,
Yeah.
that's the answer. And it's like, are you willing to take that risk? And then what? One dies, and you're gonna fork over 12.5 to go buy another one?
Yeah,
Like,
crazy.
yeah, very, very big money for that animal. And like, yeah, definitely very pretty, but I think this most beautiful snake, and like there's a lot of snakes that could take that title that have never come close to $25,000. But we've seen outrageous prices on like stuff recently that have absolutely tanked. Like, one thing that comes to mind is like Blue Beauty anoles. It's like they immediately became available, and it's like 10 grand was like the going rate for them. Like, we're talking COVID times. Like, they're 325 on Morph Market right now from 10,000. Like, it's like things change quick, and especially like just because something's cool and just because people say they want it doesn't mean they're going to buy it, even if it was $2,000, because the amount of people that are not going to spend $1,000 on a snake is a lot. Like,
Let alone a wild caught.
yeah, there's even a captive bred animal. There's people that are like in love with this hobby, in love with herpetoculture, and they won't spend that type of money. Like, they don't. They're like, snakes that are like 300 and under is like what I'm after. And it's like, it's a snake, and I'm not spending more than $300 on a snake. And it's like, they love all the things, like, just like we do, but it's like, they don't have like any desire to put more money than that into it. And it's like, respectable. I get that. This isn't a lot of people's, blood, sweat, and tears. It's like, it's truly like a hobby for a lot of people. And it's like, a lot of people wouldn't go, spending $1,000 on a gaming console, but they'll spend 300.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, man.
and that's like kind of what I'm thinking with the Jansenii. And it's like, you truly like never know. And it's like, Europe is going to get a lot of Jansenii if nobody here wants to buy them. But just like, you have to understand, like, yeah, you have to understand, like, okay, how many of these can I realistically produce before, like, either like the hype has to build. It's like, okay, if I produced 100 and sold 100, and it's like, you got to build a significant amount of hype off of that. If you're like, next year I'm producing 300, because if it's like the hype is still just the people that bought the 100,
right? Yeah,
I think things just oftentimes, like, they sound good. It's like, they can sound good, and it's like things can, fly at different times of the year. Like, just a couple months ago, like, red-tailed green ramps were flying. I mean, flying. Like, I still have the same 6 that I've posted for the last 6 weeks. Not that that's a long time, but it's like,
I feel like Morph Market's been a little slow right now, but I
Yeah.
don't know if that's everyone's experience.
yeah,
I think shows are doing well because I hear Pomona's been like really good.
yeah,
Seemed
those
like
boys,
people were buying a lot of stuff today at White Plains, so I don't know.
yeah,
Just from my point of view, Morph Market seems slow.
the pictures of Pomona definitely looked busy, but like, I can't even say Morph Market is slow because I like literally made a sale today. Like,
Yeah.
5 messages, boom, 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 done.
I finally have like ads for sale. Granted, I sent off like 4 snakes last week, but a lot of those were like made.
Right.
Those purchases were made weeks ago. I mean, I've had these, like, I find it crazy. I've had these cockeyes sitting on Morph Market for months, and I'm just like, they're not selling. I'm like, what's going on? And I know they will, granted.
Yeah.
I know they will at some point. I'm just like, and two of the ads have 40 likes apiece. I'm like, you like the ad, buy the snake.
Yeah.
But I'm not complaining. I promise I'm not. It's just interesting.
Yeah, and then like something will happen, and like all of a sudden, like I'm just like getting hounded for like the same species by like multiple people, and I'm like, what is going on? This is like just the flow of things.
Yeah. I want to get into a little bit of conversation now, just a little more overall like hobby oriented.
Yeah.
How are like you feeling overall, just keeping and breeding the species you're keeping, most of which are these more I'll call them rarer colubrids and stuff like that. And obviously you're working with other stuff too, but I just find it interesting the people that dive into the niche, and when they do niche out like that and make a name for themselves, they tend to be able to do well and like sell their stuff. And I am seeing that you're selling and sending off stuff. So, how has like that been for you, especially like, because I know last year was a pretty decent production year for you overall. So
Yeah, I think I ended up hatching. It wasn't crazy. I think it was right around like 92 snakes. So like nothing.
it's a good bit.
Totally happy, totally manageable. And I think when you're able to really get in there and maintain things every day, it just makes your life so much easier, because like one day a week for me isn't like, oh, I've got, 10 hours,
Right.
Compared to like how many animals I have. I think like right now I probably have like 170, something like that. So opposed to like spending, I need to spend 10 hours, cleaning everything, and then I've got to feed one day a week. Like I'm in there whenever I, back and forth, and I walking around looking at stuff, and I see this snake pooped, and I just go get my trash can and clean it,
Yeah.
And whatever. I'm a dad. I have 2 kids. I'm whatever, hanging out with the kids, and this cage is dirty, or I see the snake pooped in the water. I just take care of it right then. Not at the end of the day. Not you just do it right then, and it doesn't build up to crazy amounts when you're able to stay on top of everything, and you don't end up having to do like these like super intense cage cleans, because like the snake, obviously sometimes you do, but like if you don't leave the poop for multiple days, with the snake going back and forth through it, and then it gets up on the glass, and it's like, if you just attend to stuff, when you see it, and try to keep things as clean as you can, man, you can really move through pretty quick. And then when you only have, 2 hours, you're just like, okay, I just spot cleaned this cage yesterday. The water's dirty. Clean the water real quick. Move on to the next snake. You're not like intently putting energy into each thing. And I just looked the day before. So the odds of there being like more than one poop, say for a single snake in a cage, like it's just right there. You just clean it and move on. So like moving through 60 tub rack of babies, like really doesn't take me that long, because I clean the poops when I see it, and it doesn't take long, once a day to pull 60 tubs open. And even if it's 10 spot cleans that you did, it's like, man, it doesn't take any time. It's like,
I'm starting to kind of like get myself on that train as well, like probably doing like a little bit each day.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, just to get stuff done. I even think I might like section off, like make different sections of the collection essentially, and just like break up my feeding, so I'm not doing all the thawing and all the feeding all in one day. Like I've kind of done it a little bit, especially between like the ball pythons and the colubrids. But now, as I start to move out of those guys, I'll be able to kind of systematize it a little bit better, probably.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that's helped me, especially with a lot of different species. It's just taking care of things when you see it, especially with like the carpet pythons. Like carpet python doesn't poop every other day, Like
Yeah,
once you've taken the big poop out from that meal, like you're probably gonna feed it again before there's another big poop. That's probably a couple
exactly.
weeks. So it's
Yeah,
like, rat snakes are obviously a little different, but still, like even a Jansenii like might poop 3 times a week, and it's like I'd rather get in there and take those 3 individual poops out 3 different days than do all 3 on one day and change the water and clean up any other mess that's come from that snake being in there. And
plus the smell, man.
the
Because let me
smell,
tell you,
the
especially now that
flies.
I'm in this like smaller room,
Mm-hmm.
uh, smell builds fast if I leave something for too long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can definitely. Yeah, and uh, like I think just like the quality of everything is better, and I think it just keeps you as like a more involved keeper, especially
Yeah,
like if it's just a few spot cleans that you do outside of your once a week cleaning. I think it'll make a huge improvement on uh, how you operate. I really do. Like I
yeah,
push this especially to like everybody that like buys a snake and they're like, this is my pet snake. How often do I change the water? Every single day. You have one snake. Once just change the water.
yeah,
Change the like 1 minute. Just give the thing clean water.
yeah,
Like that's what and a lot of people will be like, oh, once a week. Why? Look in there at your creature. You're like, are you only looking at it once a week? Like you're already looking in there. Just take the water out. But I think
yeah,
I think it really does make a difference, and it's like I think like once a week water changes. In my perspective, they obviously work for a lot of people, but I think it's an old way of managing a group of animals. Like I really do.
yeah.
Like I even like 2 times a week would be like exponentially better. I'm not even saying you have to do it every day.
Right.
I'm saying if you buy a snake and this is like your one snake, change the water every day.
Yeah,
Like think
definitely.
the involvement and like just knowing that like you're giving your animal clean water, I think is super important.
Agreed.
And the other thing that I'm thinking is like why do I change the water so much? Well, if I have 180 animals now and I can blast through 180 waters straight through in 2 hours, well, when I have double the amount of animals, it's like I have a pretty good idea of how long this is gonna take me to do. Rather than like, man, if you were trying to do 180 animals on a weekly schedule and then double it, man, you're gonna have a long day, or you're already gonna have 2 days.
Yep.
So I'm kind of like trying to train myself for when I have more. And it's like, okay, when I have 200 hatchlings instead of doing them every day, you know, then that every third day makes a whole lot more uh, sense. But nothing here gets a water change once a week.
Yeah, I hear you there. Um, cool. What about any? Is there any other species that you're seeing out there that's like not very commonly worked with that you're wanting to take the plunge on?
Probably there are, yes. But there are other projects that I'm trying to complete before that, like the black Jansenii. Like I could realistically get like another like 2.2, and I'd have 2.4, and like that would be a great group.
Yeah.
And like I need more oxys. Like there's probably a dozen snakes that I need to buy as like adults before I'm looking at adding another species. But like things that are on the front of my mind are Thrasops, Jansenii, Jackson's tree snakes, and I think the Occidentalis I think is just called the black tree snake. I think they're very very similar names if I'm remembering correctly. Really like those guys, have for a while. Can't keep them in Georgia. It's actually in the state code that you can't keep Thrasops.
Oh, okay.
It is the only rear-fanged colubrid genus that they have listed.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was like, out of all of like something must have happened, and I was like, they pinned this species or something. I don't know. Because Blandingii aren't on there. Blanding's tree snakes. But they also fall under like a weird rear-fanged law in Georgia. And I just don't want to deal with it here, frankly. I would rather move to, which we are moving to South Carolina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like very, very, very close to where we are now, like just over the border. And I basically escape all laws, all those.
Gotcha.
I mean, you do anything you want, I'm gonna get a tiger, you know? Like that's the type of place it is. But like
I was gonna say you're gonna get a corn snake now. You went straight to tiger. All right.
No, I do want some nice corns though. Honestly, I've wanted corns for years, and it's just like don't want to deal with it, don't want to hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah, would love like a nice pair of, pure oketees. Like that would be fantastic. Yeah, hopefully when that happens later this year, I want to do some more of that stuff that's just like not getting any love.
Right.
But those would be like I don't like. There's not a huge market for something like black tree snakes. Like people end up, I think, sitting on that stuff for a while if they don't go to like a friend or something. I just don't think it's something that like a whole ton of people are really after.
Gotcha.
That and the Blandings also, and maybe it's just like the Jansenii, like not many have come in, they hadn't done well, and like you couldn't really get a whole bunch of them at one time, and it was just like one or two here and there, so they just like never took off. But yeah, between the Blandings, the Jackson's tree snakes, I think they are, and I think they're just called black tree snakes or Western black tree snakes, something like that. Very similar. They have like some different facial features, but like those guys are super cool. And it's African, so it's a totally different continent than really anything that I'm familiar with. But it's still arboreal, and it's still a colubrid. And their scales look like freaking dragons. Like they're such a crazy, crazy snake.
Yeah.
But just like I've loved them forever, and they've like always been like one of those snakes.
Gotcha. This next question could come across as negative, but it's more so out of like curiosity. But like, what's something that you have seen in the colubrid hobby in your time that you are not necessarily a fan of?
Ooh. Man, I don't know. I've tried. I've tried. I feel like I've had such a.
Or even something that this is an issue that we need to fix.
Man, we've got our shit together. I don't know. As a hobby whole thing, man, I don't know.
Like on the colubrid side, it could be.
Yeah. Okay. This is something that I'm kind of seeing, and something that I've definitely put thought into this year. It seems like the beauty snake market is heavily slowing down, and the price of beauty snakes is dropping big time.
Yeah, I've noticed the same.
People, they're like
Like
giving,
blue beauties, you could
away.
yeah, you could get blue
Giving them
beauties
away.
under 300 at the under 300. Yeah,
Man,
at this point.
there are like Chinese and Taiwanese beauty snakes that are going for like $100, and we're talking about a snake that's going to hit 8 feet.
Yeah.
Like, and they lay big clutches, and like, luckily I've got some shows coming up, so I'm not saying like, oh, mine haven't sold, and I also have all 12 of them posted under one ad. And there's a lot of people that have theirs posted as individuals, and they're a little cheaper than mine. So again, that's not to say that like they're not selling, but at the price that they were selling last year, they are not selling. So I have a couple shows coming up. It'll be interesting to see what sells
Yeah.
at those, but I know a lot of people are sitting on beauty snakes. And it's not a type of snake that does well like if you just like back off food. Like once you back off food on one of those guys, they're like, all right, I'm going to press my face up on every crevice of this tub until you feed me. So it's like you have to feed them. Like
Right.
otherwise they're going to be going crazy in there. So that's something that I've kind of noticed. And like, man, there's a lot of big colubrids out there that are for sale right now. There are a lot of false water cobras. There's a lot of crebos. There's a lot of indigos. And it's
A
like
lot of king rats.
there's a lot of king rats. And I mean, I have the king rats for sale. Yeah, for sure.
I'm not even like pointing you out. Like
No,
I've just seen like
for sure.
the amount of king rat ads explode over the last year.
Yeah, they are definitely gaining more popularity. And I actually got 2 messages today about king rats, which is good. But yeah, it's one of those things. They're not a super hard to breed species. Now, obviously, you have to do the right things if you want eggs, but they're pretty consistent. And like, if you try to breed king rats, you will most likely produce king rats like fairly easily, as easily as you're going to produce a bull snake or a pine snake or any of the other, it's not that complicated. So it's like, man, you're probably going to get eggs if you try this, say within 2 years. And it's like, you got to try to sell those. And if you're somebody that doesn't have a good outlet for sales, or if you think like, man, I'm going to breed my false water cobras, and then it's like, man, you're sitting on 30 babies. I would just say, like, be sure that you have a place for these animals to go, because like I'm looking at my blue beauties and thinking like, man, if I have a dozen of these sitting in my rack, do I really want to put these together this spring? Now, if all of them sold for a reasonable price that I was asking, say in the next couple of months, sure, I'll breed them again because I wouldn't have any. And that would tell me that, okay, these are moving. I actually, I have more than a dozen because I have a little clutch that was laid later in the year that I'm just starting to get feeding, and there's 5 babies in that clutch. So it's like, I would think about if you have, maybe other more difficult projects that might be worth putting more time into. It might be worth backing off some of those projects that have a lot of animals sitting around for sale. And maybe after I just went on about not giving animals breaks, I'm going to tell you to give your animals a break for a year.
Well, if you just don't pair them,
for sure,
that's like a different story.
Yeah, and you don't feed the crap out of them, the animal's going to be totally fine. But you do not want that animal thinking that it is about to receive enough food to grow substantial follicles. That's not what you're after.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not what you're after. But then again, there's a lot of things on the market that there's no representation for. I was just talking about tiger rats. Why can you not buy a captive bred Guyana tiger rat?
I mean, you can, but if you don't hit up Jason Hood or Stephen Cush fast enough, you're not getting one.
The second they hatch. But it's again, a lot of room for somebody to work that project and sell really nice captive bred tiger rats, and they will sell, especially at $400. I mean, some of these imports are going for $350, and I mean, I'll sell baby tiger rats at $400 a piece all day. For Guyanas,
they're going for more than that. Captive bred,
really?
Captive bred tigers, yeah.
Okay. I mean,
they fetch a nice penny. Captive bred tigers.
I know the Nicaraguans are expensive. Man, I think
any captive bred tiger rat, true captive bred, you get them from one of the good guys. People pay it. I've seen it.
Yeah, a great. So I think those are good places to be in. Good places to put energy in. I think bird snakes, not a crazy big snake, and there really is enough people that are interested. We have a long ways to market saturation where other things like beauty snakes, we're seeing it. It's there. When people drop things to half price and run auctions for a quarter of the price, they're not moving.
Yeah, it's tough to see that kind of behavior on the colubrid side of things. Obviously we've seen that stuff go on with ball pythons, but then coming back to my cockeye, because that's the stuff I'm looking at and what I can compare to. Those have been consistent $300 to $350 snakes for years. This past year, I've seen multiple ads, $225, $250, $275, and I'm like, fuck. I'm just to myself, I'm like, why are these people do you really need to sell the animal that bad that you're gonna pull the price down another $50 for everyone else? But in all honesty, I didn't budge. I know Clint hasn't budged either on his cockeye prices, because if someone really wants good quality, and the people that have these low prices, they're not real names or faces. They're either these big companies or it's some rando that might be flipping some from someone else.
Yeah.
So I think for the real, I'm gonna say the real colubrid enthusiasts, don't necessarily back down from your own quality and the stuff you're standing on, because I've been seeing a lot. One of my biggest complaints right now is I feel I'm seeing a lot of secondhand flipping, just big time. I feel every other ad I click on, and granted, I scroll through rat snake ads the most. Every other one I'm seeing captive bred instead of self-produced. I'm just come on.
Right.
And granted, it's not the worst thing in the world, but when everything's like that, when they're fresh babies, when we're looking at 2025 hatchlings and it's not self-produced, I'm just really? Depending on the seller.
And like, how many cockeye do you have?
Right now, 4.
And that could realistically be 2 sales.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody could take a trio from you, like, and then you're sitting on one, and then that one sells quick, and you're like, man, I wish I had a couple more. And as soon as that one sells, somebody will follow up, like right after, and be like, hey, do you have any cockeye? And you're like, yeah, I did for 4 months, and nobody bought them.
I hope I start the year off strong with eggs quickly, so we'll see.
Yeah. I think animals like those, like cockeye, are like great animals. Like when somebody comes up to you and they're like, man, I'm looking for like a great first time snake. Like, that is a great first time snake. And it's like, okay, you want something a little bit funkier. You don't want to use a bunch of heat, Yeah. I think about like people going to like more minimalistic lifestyles, and like people aren't buying dogs as much, and they're getting the smaller houses, and they're not having kids, and they just want simpler lives. So something that fits in a smaller box and takes up less space, but is still like impactful. I think like rhino rats and cockeye and these small, like eye-catching species like really fit that bill.
Yeah. And I just want to say once again, I'm genuinely not complaining about not selling these guys because I don't mind holding on to them for a little while longer. I'm just simply making observations. Yeah, I don't want it to seem like I'm not desperate for the sale. Would it be nice? Sure. If I have them a little longer, sure, I get to keep them and take care of them for a little bit longer. Like, it is what it is.
It's just regular things that we have to deal with. Like, just conversation.
Yeah. Cool, man. Let's see.
It's important I'm like, I saw this post recently. There's this I'm not gonna say any names, but there's this guy that's local, and he's like I have 10 female blue beauties that are ready to go. And I'm like, you do you, buddy. Like, but you tell me later this year how that works out for you. Like, and I'll tell you how it works out for me. It's not going to be well. It's not going to work out well for anybody else, but like, it's mostly not going to work out for you because you're going to have 200 snakes that you can't sell, and I'm going to have 10.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, come on, you're not getting anywhere. This isn't a good idea. It's like, great, you made a lot of snakes. Congrats. Like, there's no award for that.
Yeah. And then, like, I always think about, like, okay, so what if every Blue Beauty breeder took off the year? And then what happens to the price the year after when there's literally 0 babies on the market, and then in 2027 they come back? And like, it's always, I always wonder, and it'll never happen that way where there is exactly 0 for 1 year. But I'm always just like, what would happen if that were to happen to any? It could be any species.
Yeah. Well, we had the great Mexican black king snake.
Yes.
Boom. Where it's like everybody. I mean, they made out like bandits.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy. If you had multiple female Mexican black kings that dropped, I mean, you were on cloud 9. You were talking about that thing went for like 4 times what it has.
Oh yeah, Clint's told the story on here.
Crazy. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I guess that could happen to anything, but I think that was a perfect storm of like so many years of like those kind of being like on the back burner, kinda, and then like soon as they got like a little bit of traction, it was like, man, like the tires really gripped, and they got all the traction that they could have possibly gotten.
Yeah.
And I think they're still higher now than they were to begin with. Like I think they were like an $80-$90 snake before, and I think they're like $180 snake now. Could be wrong on that, but
Maybe a little bit less, but
a
yeah,
little bit less.
in that range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like you never know. Like something crazy. I think of like rhino rats. Like if there was like ever a crazy boom, and it's like, man, there's really not that many rhino rats that are produced every year. It's just they all hatch at the same time, and we all sell them on Morph Market, so it looks like there's like so many.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like when there's a lot of something, like it's very, very relative for us to say a lot when we're judging off of mostly Morph Market ads, and we don't know what else is going on like the secondary markets because stuff can be happening anywhere. But I'm primarily looking at Morph Market, so that's really my gauge.
And I think like also these people like Snake Discovery and like these other people with really big followings, like when they highlight an animal and that video gets, crazy views, that's like the next generation watching those videos. Like all those kids that dream of owning the stuff, like they're watching it through Snake Discovery and channels like that. Like they are. I know because they tell me. Like people tell me like, oh, this is where we learned about it. Like I get a lot of Blue Beauty stuff from there actually. Because they have like this huge, I don't know if they still have, but it was like this like pretty sizable enclosure. Like had to be like at least like 8 feet. I think it was like ceiling tall. And like that was like an original video I watched when I was getting my Blue Beauties.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. We've been going about 2 hours now. I think this is a good place to wrap it up. If there is anyone looking to get something of your production this year, what's the best way to do that?
Is always open to messages on Instagram, but I did just activate the message icon on my Morph Market store page. So you don't have to inquire on a specific animal. You can just go to my store and hit the message icon. It'll just send like a DM, which is a great way if you just have a question about something. But Instagram is great too. I'm trying to funnel for 2025. I'm trying to send all the sales at least through Morph Market, whether that means I just post it, the animal that you're buying, and you immediately go in.
I've had people do that for me as well. And I personally like that because like selfishly, I want the extra review on Morph Market and just like all the systems going in with like the shipping and
shipping.
So,
I'm already using all of it. Already want it to be there. Saves your information, saves the conversation. You get the $1,500 guarantee from Morph Market, which is definitely worth something if you're a new person buying from me. Like that's your guarantee.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because technically, that guarantee does not apply if you don't inquire on the animal through Morph Market.
Nope. And it has every step has to be through them, not the payment, but every other. I remember that was a big thing when it first came out. They were trying to hold the payment, but that didn't hold up. But yeah, sending it through Morph Market. Plus, I can just see all the statistics and everything on there and like really get good numbers of what's going on here.
Right. Yeah. So, all right, man, I'm excited to see what you produce in 2026. I appreciate you being here tonight. As always, it's great to have you on. We always have very good conversations when we're together. So, thanks, Chaz.
Yeah, hopefully later this year we'll be able to meet at Colubrid Fest.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, you're wanting to go at least, right?
Yeah, I will be there.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
All right. Good. I will expect to see you there. So that sounds good to me.
Can't be doing this for a third time.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you again, Chaz. If it's your first time listening, guys, make sure you hit a like on today's podcast. Make sure you hit subscribe on YouTube if you enjoyed. We do these once a week. Again, this was Colubrid Corruption, episode number 92 with Chaz. Go follow Chaz on social media. Go follow me on social media if you haven't. His link is in the description below, by the way. Go check out the Meteoric Serpents Patreon. First link in the description. If you want to get in on the first giveaway we're doing, you have to join by January 15th. So go ahead and do that. But yeah, guys, have a fantastic night. Again, this was episode number 92 of the Colubrid Corruption podcast. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.